What's up, guys? Welcome back. So we'll be continuing with our pattern fever. So this is a pattern requested to us by our friend. So let's see. Now, as you can see, the shape of this pattern reminds you of a pattern that we have already did. Now, if you look at the previous pattern or the first pattern that we did, now this is exactly the same as this pattern, except that these has just the stars are replaced by the numbers, right? So you can see that this pattern has numbers. Now if you replace these numbers with the stars, you'll get back the same pattern. So let's look how this pattern looks. Now we are looking at something like this. Now you can see that the left side is for the rows and the top is for the columns. Now you can see that at the starting of each row you have 1, then you go to 0, then you go back to 1, and then you go to 0. Now how does this come in? Now let's look at the logic. How does the logic kick in? Now if you see that these numbers, now you look at this is these output is totally dependent on the column number. Now if you look closely, now if you try to divide 1 by 2, okay, so the remainder that you get is actually what is printed over here. Now so 1, if we try to divide it by 2, then the remainder is 1, so we print a 1 over here. Now so take any column over here. Say I'll say this column that is on the 4th row and the 3rd column. Now as you can see, because it is a 3rd column, now if we try to divide it by 2, okay, so we'll get a remainder as 1, so we need to print a 1 over here. Okay, so on, as you can see, it is column dependent, so we try to divide the column number by 2 and the remainder is to be printed on the screen. So let's quickly jump into the code. So I've just created a pattern print 5.c and wrote down your stdio and void main. Now the first thing we need to do is to know how many rows we want to print. So say if we want to print, so how many rows do we want to print? Okay, so first thing that we need to do is that we need to know how many number of rows do we want to print. So I'll currently assume that we want to print 5 number of rows, and we'll go with our basics that we followed for our pattern printing in our first pattern, that we'll have 2 for loops. Okay, so I'll just need to declare a row which will do the row counting and a column which will do the column counting. Okay, so now we need to start our row from 1 and need to go till our number of rows. And for our column stuff, we need to start from our column equal to 1 and go till the column is actually equal to our rows. Okay, so this was our basic stuff that we did in the first pattern. Now the change here will be only the print statement. Now what we need to print is that we need to first divide our column by 2 and look at the remainder. Now we'll use the mod operator. Now if so our column modulo 2, and this will give the number that we need to print. So I'll just print this number. So after doing this, after completely printing a column, we need to go to the next line. So I'll just need to write the next line command. So we have successfully written our code. Now let's see if we have any errors. So no errors. Now let's try to run this. Okay, so as you can see, I have given the input as 5, so it will give 5 rows. So as you can see, the pattern that we desired. Now just let's change it to see whether this actually gives us a proper result. So let's compile and run it again. So as you can see, now we have 10 rows, right? So this is properly printing the pattern that we wanted. So that's it for this tutorial. Please do subscribe to our channel, like our videos, and put your suggestions in the comment section. The code to this pattern will be available in the description below. Do check our blog, also like our Facebook page. And if you want any other pattern to be done by us, please leave it in the comment section, or you can put it in the discussion section of our channel. Thank you.